Alright, we are back with another lighting mod test, and today we're going to be testing LUX. So if you're interested in LUX, the newest version also requires LUX Via. This mod author has three mods. There's LUX, LUX Via, and LUX Orbis. And I think LUX mainly handles interiors. LUX Via adds some exterior options like this light pole, I guess you want to call it, and some other things. It changes some bridges, which actually look pretty cool. I'm not going to be looking at that today, though. We're going to be looking at exact same things we looked at before with eel effects. Lux Orbis works on exterior lighting, adding shadow casting lights where necessary, things like that. You can visit the mod page to see what the differences are there. But there is a resource pack in LUX Via that LUX requires. So I think you may be able to just install the resource part of LUX Via, but I have both of them in, so if I didn't just confuse the hell out of everyone. But we have a little nicer weather right now. I used to know some console commands to change the weather, so the interiors and parts in here may look a little different because there are some holes in the ceiling, but we'll just have to deal with that. So, let's see. Lux is, I think it was about 200 and some gigabytes, and Lux Via is 1.2 gigabytes. It's a huge mod, just so you know. Okay, well, let's get in here and take a look at this. We're going to follow the same path we did before. This is Wall of Flames. I put the spell tome in that chest in there where my spells are because I just wanted to see what this looked like. This is still Ultimate HD Fire Effects. I decided not to change it out because changing lighting mods may change the look of it. So I figure I'm going to leave this in here while I test these three. Maybe I'll do a separate mod with the fire testing once I decide on the lighting mod. We'll see how that goes. But for now, we're going to leave in Ultimate HD Fire Effects. So right away we can see it's a bit darker in here. We still have the same ENB, still Mythical ENB, Mythical Ages Weather. So nothing changed there. I want to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples. So we're going to take a look at here at Embershard Mine. We're going to go to the Riverwood Traders, Sleeping Giant Inn, Bleak Falls Barrow, and then we'll head over to Whiterun and we'll look at the same interiors in Whiterun. So again, compare apples to apples. But we can already see that it is not nearly as bright in here as before. I think the radius or the diameter of the light sources is probably about the same, but it's much less bright. Let's grab a couple of torches so we have something to use in Embershard. Not in Embershard. We're in Embershard. In Bleak Falls Barrow, if necessary. These light sources are not nearly as bright, and they have a little less, I guess, orange to them. It looks good, though. Let's see, what should we give the dummies to play with? I could summon up Igniculus here. It's a little bit overkill because this is a dragon priest. We don't want to do that. Should we give him a skeletal minion? How about the electrician? It's just shown as an adept, but I think the electrician is actually now an expert level, which has nothing to do with the lighting mod, but see what I mean? He's a little bit overkill. Come on, get out of the way. Yeah, it's very interesting how this is the lighting in here. The stuff is being lit up by the lighting from there. That's part of the window light aspect. Yeah, again, I think the area of the light source is probably about the same because you can see a little bit of illusion. It's an illusion. I can even function this morning. The illumination, you can see it all the way up to about here. So I think the area is about the same. It's just a lot less bright. But you can still see what's going on. Fires look nice. Actually want to go take a closer look at this. Yes, Ultimate HD Fire Effects. Very nice mod. Let's test, let's do a little torch comparison. It's actually a little bit closer to the same, although the one in my hand is still a little bit different. Let's see what kind of illumination we're getting from just the torch. Let's remove those and guess that's pretty appropriate. I didn't hotkey anything, so I'm just going to remove that. Actually, let me go ahead and do that. What do we want? Let's favorite that. And should we favorite Wall of Flames? It's a little bit overkill. Why not? Then we could do Fire Shroud. This is a fun spell I made here. It's like a flame cloak, but instead of enveloping the caster, it envelops the target and burns them over time. It only does 1 point of damage per second for 20 seconds, but it stacks. It's like the ignite spell. Ah, that's fine. Let's just put this in... This is interesting because this is... there was a shadow casting light here, if I remember correctly. But that's been replaced with a non-shadow casting light. Oh, there they are. The bridge is on fire. Let me run through it. Alright, well, we gotta wait for the flames to expire. Boy, look at the shadows here, huh? It's interesting the way this is all lit up, man. This is really very, very immersive. All the area down there looks like it's lit up by daylight. You can see shadows from trees or those roots or vines. Neat. Not bad. Still dark in this area, as it always is. I can see the detail in the ground. What I'm wondering, though, is when this gets uploaded, if this is going to be visible, if you're going to be able to see the little individual rocks and things on the ground. Because when you upload them, the video compression that takes place, it tends to make dark areas darker. And this area could just look black with no detail in it whatsoever. was hoping you to come through there. Again, I don't know why I'm taking that stuff. Shadow casting light in here. It's casting shadows all the way out here even. Cool. Yeah, I think the illumination from these torches is a little closer to reality. I mean, it's not a very big flame. It shouldn't illuminate that significant of an area. And if I remember right, that torch was over there before. Perhaps not. And there was a torch right there. Remember that? Because I got spotted and there was that light source right here. Here, I'll show you what the flame shroud does. I have to fix the damage on that and the dispel so that goes away. Can't believe that didn't alert anybody else. Nice scene though. Is there a light source back here? Yes there is. I'll just be taking that. It seems to me that torch was closer to here because there was illumination right here before as well. I think I have this on adept difficulty. Hey, over here, idiot. So yeah, using an expert level spell on level 1 bandits is a little bit overkill, but yeah. It's my video, I can do that. This looks pretty good. I have to. I'm sorry, I have to. I love golden gems. Alright, let's see what we have for shadows and whatnot over here. Now supposedly these shadows will change with the time of day and also with the weather conditions. Let's get a look from up here. Pretty nice looking scene, I have to say. Very, very nice. Alright, let's head into town.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are
Gotta hear that every time.
A customer.
What's interesting, it puts that candle horn sconce back in here.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
I have no interest in that. Nice shadows here.
You're not from around here. That makes two of us.
Well, the window lighting in here is a little more pronounced than before. Take it easy, man. I ain't stealing
I
something.
came here from the Imperial Province to work with my brother Lucan.
Great. So glad she shared that information with me.
Orgnar, are you listening?
Hard not to.
The ale is
I
going
think it's a
down.
little brighter in here overall. Still, the lighting looks pretty nice.
Did you hear me?
We definitely have some pronounced window lighting here,
I guess
right
you
over
don't have
here.
potatoes in your ears after all. Just make sure we get a fresh batch in soon.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Interesting. I'm also kind of curious how this is going to look, because we did this before. Just out of curiosity. Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of curious how that would look by when adjusting
Promised
that.
you'd sweep the end
Yep.
and
Thing to remember though, when you adjust the interior light levels, it's basically it doesn't really change the light sources any. It's just the overall light levels. That's hard to describe. Here's one of those wooden bridges that Lux Via adds. It's pretty cool. I wish these light posts here, they're dotted all along the road, so I wish these were lanterns instead, but I might be able to overwrite that with Lux. But this is kind of cool. I like this, something different besides the same old bridge. And I had to reinstall Realistic Water 2 because that one I had to select the option for the ELFX patch or whatnot, so I had to reinstall it without that one. And this is the this is different watercolor. Instead of the teal, this is the fantasy blue, which might be a little over the top, but I wanted to at least take a look at it. All right, here we are, another gorgeous sunrise, courtesy of Arundel. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning, a little after. I wanted to get the time the same. I had to wait a couple of days for the weather to clear up, so we have a good comparison here. And again, the sun's over there. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Well, the window shadows are in the right place this time. It's pretty impressive. The last time I tried Lux, which is probably about 9 months ago, the dust, or whatever you want to call it here, was really strong. It was like a huge fog bank coming in there. It was a little overpowering. This is a lot more realistic. But there's been a bunch of updates since then. But these window lights look pretty nice. Another thing I noticed before, last time I tried it, is these sconces here had no illumination around them at all, which looked really odd because, I mean, the interior was kind of dark, and here you have these, you know, fairly large fires, and there was no illumination around them. It was really strange. It was very immersion breaking, but it's nice to see they have some illumination around them now, or at least some of them do. Yeah, it's nice. Very impressive. I think this fireplace had no illumination inside it either. It's still not a lot, but at least there's something there. This is not impacting my FPS at all, in case you're wondering. But I really wouldn't expect it to. I don't have much for any other mods. I mean, things that really can slow your system down are grass, trees, ENB, probably landscape texture mods. And the only thing I have from that is an ENB. It's very nice. Alright, let's move on.
At it again. Watch the eye.
Hey, watch it.
You see, got a little more dust or fog coming in through the windows over there.
You stand a chance.
A lot of illumination around this large fire here in the center. You stop sweeping, you're kicking up all the dust. Can't you see this? Yeah, it's a little more dust here in front of these windows than we had in Dragon's Reach. Still, though. Real nice effect. Lighting in here is really, really nice.
You're pathetic.
I don't think I looked up there last time. Okay, next. Arcadia's Cauldron. I think that was the next stop.
A few seconds for my supper is all I ask.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away.
Those candles really have that area lit up over there. Probably don't need 3 of them.
If there's
I don't know if
anything
all
else,
3 of those are vanilla, and there's a
last.
4th one there. I had a strange phenomenon when I was making my house mod,
tonics, salves,
where
poultices, and
candles
potions
would
on my shelf.
actually,
Browse to your heart's content.
they would actually go out when I moved, was it moved close to them or moved away from them? Or when I moved away from them, they would actually go out. I mean, completely.
I offer remedies for ailments
Not
both
the
common
light
and
source, the
rare.
candles
Do
themselves.
let me know if I can be of service.
And the only thing I could figure out, the only thing I could find that fix it was that is just that the sheer number of candles. So like this is not 1 candle. There's actually 4 of them here. So I had to go around and look at the chandeliers. I had some that had 6 candles in it, so I replaced it with
There's
a,
anything I can help you with,
goat horn
I'd like to
chandelier that
ask.
only had 4. she's annoying. I mean, I know I have the volume turned down, but I
Suffering.
get tired of listening to them yapping.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
No. That's... Oh, we were supposed to go to Bleak Falls Barrow. Whoops. Okay, we'll hit that after
Everything's for
we're
sale,
done
my
here.
friend. You need visit no other shops today.
How about your soul? I was just wondering about that. I'm looking at the clocks. I want the time to be similar, and I'm like, man, I got a lot of excess time. What's the deal?
You must have more swords for the Imperial soldiers. Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive. Well, the front of his table there is really lit up.
We've got arms and armor of all kinds.
Do you have any ebony? No. That's pretty impressive, the amount of light coming in through there.
Take a good look around. I'm sure you'll find what you're looking for. If not, let me know. I might have it stored away.
Always a lot of light coming in through, I guess.
I can tell you're no
From
stranger
that?
to the wilds. I'm sure we can meet your hunting needs.
Why is there a sleeping bag on the floor? Is that where you live? You have this big building and all these extra rooms?
I'll be happy to assist you if you'd like to purchase something.
Alright, since I forgot to do Bleak Falls Barrow, let's go do that real quick. This was interesting. I fast traveled to Riverwood and it was pouring rain. And before I got to the top of the hill, it cleared up nicely. Let's see, what do we want to do with these cats? I've already looked at them. Igniculus is overkill. Let's give him Kilowatt. Give him a little shock therapy, you know? Go ahead, man. He summons up some help. Woohoo! Wow. You guys are pretty tough. Kilowatt's an adept level shock mage. Go figure, right? But Kilowatt also summons this creature, which we've seen before. Voltinator is the spell sword, apprentice level. So they're a pretty good combination. Jeez, guys, really? It's not nearly as bright in here as it was previously. The lighting looks pretty nice, though. You definitely have distinct areas where the light's coming through, and not just, you know, one big bright area. Let's try cauterizer. You're not going to summon your friend? Alright. So this area is not quite as bright as before, but the illumination still looks really nice. Let's proceed. This area looks a little bit lighter. So again, I think I said it a couple times. I think the area of illumination is about the same, but it's not as bright, and it's a little more of a amber color than bright orange or yellow. Now here's what I'm talking about. I was talking about this before. There's a little hole in the ceiling or roof or whatever you want to call it up there. There's a little bit of daylight coming through there. It's kind of cool. But this looks good though. The lighting here looks really nice. I think that's new. Okay, it looks like it adds this torch right here. You may notice, I don't remember if I mentioned this before, but you may notice that on the underside of this brazier, and the same up here, there's a little bit of a orangish glow. I'm pretty sure that's bloom, and I think that's mythical ENB that is adding that. Just pointing that out. So the lighting in here is pretty similar. A little less though, but it looks good. It seems like there's a slight bit more detail over here, but the lighting over on this part is pretty similar. That looks nice. Now here the light source looks smaller. Alright, let's deal with these guys. Come on, don't be shy. One more. Come on, come get you some. Yeah, I was going to say, this one, the illuminated area is a lot smaller. Still, it's a nice looking scene. Are we getting any creep factor yet? I think it added this, didn't it? I don't remember that being there. Alright, so if you didn't know, when you're making a mod and you have a cell, an interior cell, there's limits to how many light sources you can put in there, and there's limits to how many shadow casting light sources that you can add in there. And that's always been something that modders have had to deal with. So when it comes to shadow casting light sources, like this one is a shadow casting one, you can see the shadow right there. You can't have more than 4 in a cell, because if you add a 5th one, the game will turn one of them off. But recently, they've figured out a way to work around that. I don't understand it, but they've come up with a way to work around that little problem, which is good because there's, you know, you look at the shadows, the immersion that brings is great.
Is someone coming? Is that you, Hotnir? Bjorn? Celine? I know I like it, but I need help.
You see, you got a shadow casting light here. We got another one right there. We're still in the same cell.
Don't let it get me! Help! Don't let it get me! Help!
Oh, come on. Got to do everything myself?
Get me out of here! Help me out of here! You! Over here!
Wait for these fires to come out and we can get a better look at this.
Get me down! Don't leave me for RK's sake! It's coming loose. Feel it. Oh.
Alright, do we have creep factor yet? Bush is really nice, I gotta tell you, man. I'm gonna have a tough decision to make. Overall light levels I can change with the ENB, but the brightness of light sources or the radius, I can't change that with the ENB. Just the overall light levels. So that's something I have to take into consideration. You know, if I find one lighting mod that I really like and maybe it's a little too bright, I can make it a little darker or vice versa. But as far as the light sources, there's not a whole lot I can do with that. I mean, I can mod the mod, but I'm not going to do that. There's just too many. I don't know why you're not summoning your friend. This looks really, really good, though. I mean, I think the brightness from these light sources is pretty appropriate. Don't step on that trap, girly. Smart kid. Show off. Let's have a little fun with these guys. Let's see. Oh, I didn't bring him. Damn it. Ah. I got a guy that does, specializes in killing the undead. He's got some sun spells. See, you summoned his friend. Alright, we'll go a little bit farther. It's got a little bit of creep factor, don't you think? Come on, you guys. Don't be afraid of the fire. That's a nice touch, these candles up in here. It's providing just a tiny bit of light. It's just enough that you can see what's going on without being too bright or, you know, so dark you can't see anything. The torch illuminates not a huge area, just pretty much just you know, your immediate surroundings, which is probably how it should be. Are you talking trash? Just let that cook for a little bit. Did you know you could do that with a torch? Probably. Had enough yet? You know, it looks so good, man. Alright, here's my favorite room. Very nice. Very, very nice. Alright, well, I apologize for doing this in the wrong order. I was going to try and do everything in exact same orders before and completely forgot about coming here after Ember Shard. But still, we got exact same places. Everything was the same. We just swapped out the lighting mods. Pretty impressive. Very, very impressive. Alright, I think next is going to be relighting Skyrim and ELE with window shadows included in that. So it's kind of interesting because there's the most recent version of relighting Skyrim does not appear to include window shadows, but the version prior to that does include window shadows, and window shadows is its own mod. It's included in that one. So I don't know if there's a difference between those two versions. If the most recent one has some updates to it, I have to look into that again. But either way, we're going to include the window shadows, whether I include it with the version of relighting Skyrim that has it built in, or if I'll include it as a separate mod. But we want the window shadows, as we want to be able to compare that with LUX and ELFX shadows. So that's gonna do it for now. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, and I'll see you for the next lighting video.